I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and this is the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. I'm taking the taboos of menopause and peri-menopause and bringing light to the dark. No bullshit, no shame. It's time for us to gain a new paradigm in female health, out with the old and in with the new, and I'm bringing fresh perspectives from someone in the arena. I've been practicing women's health for nearly 20 years, and I'm spilling the tea on what it means to live at midlife, knowing that the best is yet to come. I'm sharing my Gen X approach to living through this transition. Sassy, a bit sweary, and always honest. Tactical tips and instantly usable information is my aim. I hope to make you laugh and that you learn something new that helps you embrace the change. Together, we bring power to the peri. Onward to the podcast. You're tuned in to the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and today I have a friend and a guest that's been on the show back to teach us again about how to take care of our wealth, how to take care of our money, how to be well-resourced and purposeful. And I know for sure that the world will change when women have access to better resources. So this is why I bring Francesca Rea on the show, not just because she's a friend, but because she's freaking brilliant and she has so much to teach us. And today we talk about her new book called Divine Wealth, which is a book packed full of stories and practical applications for you and your money, available on Amazon and on Kindle as well. And she tells us near the end of the show, audiobook coming. I'm so excited. So if you're not sure about how to handle your money, how well your money's being handled, how to invest, how to do all of the things correctly, please follow my friend Francesca Rea. Her website is francescarea.com, francescarea.com. And of course, I'll put it in the show notes for you. But I'm telling you, this conversation, just like every other one that she and I have for the show, packed full of useful information for those of us who are getting up there in our years. We're no longer in our mother era. We're now in our grandmother era. And man, we have the ability to really change things when we bring wisdom in a well-resourced container. Let me introduce my guest to you properly. Francesca Rea is a certified financial planner, wealth advisor, prosperity coach, and the author of Divine Wealth. She blends money mindset with traditional wealth planning to empower women to build confidence, clarity, and true financial freedom. A former debt-burdened student turned business owner and single mother, Francesca brings both expertise and lived experience to her mission, helping women rise into their own prosperity with purpose. I love this conversation. I feel like I sit and just take notes because I have so much to learn yet. And Francesca is one of my best teachers on the subject of the financial times, shall we say. So enjoy the conversation. Without further ado, here is a message from our sponsor. If midlife has you feeling more wired, more tired, and more emotionally sensitive than you used to be, you're not alone. Perimenopause and menopause place real pressure on the nervous system and the body's ability to stay balanced, which is why so many women feel off, even when we're doing everything right. That's why I want to introduce you to Lila Quantum Tech. Lila Quantum Tech creates quantum energy and frequency-based products designed to support your body's natural self-regulation and internal balance, especially during periods of stress, transition, and change. One of their most advanced developments is the Heal 360 frequency. It combines over 45 molecular frequencies with etheric frequencies, creating a full spectrum energetic blueprint that supports the body physically, emotionally, and energetically. This isn't just theoretical. Their technology is backed by 40 plus placebo-controlled scientific studies. Leela Quantum's technology has been shown to support 50 to 100% faster cellular recovery, boost ATP or energy production by up to 29%, and will improve red and white blood cell health within minutes. Independent placebo-controlled studies also show a 13 times increase in important alpha waves into the limbic system, while stress-related brain activity drops by 80%, helping the body stay resilient in a high-stress, wired world. Their Heal 360 line is available in easy-to-use formats like capsules, cards, water bottles, and clothing, so it fits into your real life. For women in midlife, that kind of support matters. Midlife isn't something to push through, it's something to support. Use the code LOVELY at checkout to receive 10% off your next purchase at leelaq.com. That's LEELAQ.com, and experience what full spectrum energetic support can feel like. Today's episode is sponsored by Berkeley Life, an innovative health brand dedicated to helping women feel vibrant at every stage of life. Now, you've heard me say this before, but it's worth repeating. Menopause isn't just about hormones. Circulation and nitric oxide play a massive role in how we feel day to day. When nitric oxide levels decline, our blood flow slows down, which can affect everything from energy and focus to intimacy and comfort. Berkeley Life recently ran a 60-day pilot study with women taking their nitric oxide supporting supplement, and the results were incredible. 75% of the women in the study reported improved desire, 75%. 83% experienced enhanced orgasm and comfort, and over half noticed better natural lubrication. Wow, yes please. These are the kinds of changes that happen when we support healthy blood flow and oxygen delivery throughout the body. It's not just about one system, guys. It's about the whole you. I love sharing tools that help women thrive. That's what this whole entire show is about. And Berkeley Life is doing just that. Learn more and explore their nitric oxide supporting supplements at berkeleylife.com. That's BerkeleyLife.com. Thanks, Berkeley Life. Welcome to the Not Your Mother's Menopause podcast. I'm Dr. Fiona Lovely, and my guest today is the fabulous, amazing Francesca Rea, friend and human being extraordinaire. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Fiona. I am so grateful to be here. I always love hanging out with you.
Oh, ditto, sis. And we've got important business to talk about today because
we do.
Yes, as you know, as you and I talk about all the time, the conversation around women and money. Ooh, it's a powerful one. And in fact, you have just written a book on this subject, which is why you're here to talk about it.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Tell us, please. Tell us about it.
Divine Wealth is not your typical finance book. It's actually a story of 8 women who come together for a life-changing retreat, a money retreat in Bali, and uncover the truth about money, their beliefs, and the stories they've been told. And it's through heartbreak and healing and hilarious moments within the book that they transform their relationship with their wealth as well as themselves. And I also, say it's the female version of The Wealthy Barber meets Eat, Pray, Love. So done in a story format, and it combines the feminine wisdom of money and flow and receiving with the masculine structure of money.
Oh, so this is not your mother's finance book.
No. There wasn't a finance book for our mothers, right?
No. I mean, you and I have talked about The Wealthy Barber. David Chilton, is that his name?
Yes.
We have talked about him before, and I remember that book being on my dad's bookshelf, right? In the 80s, right?
Absolutely. And I picked it up when I could not find any information or resources about money. I was working. What am I doing with it? The bank wasn't helping. And his book really did change the way I looked at things and has got me on this trajectory of being a wealth advisor. And, I got a second book and his third book has just come out. But I love that it's done in a story format because it just keeps things so simple, so easy to read, and for everybody, not just the person just starting out.
And relatable, right? As soon as we do storytelling, it's relatable for other women.
Absolutely. And so in the book, I
Mhm.
have 8 characters. So I am sure your audience could relate to at least one of these wonderful women that I have introduced in the story.
I love it. So I'm sensing some themes here, but the first thing I want to ask you, because it won't leave my head, so I've got to go there. When you and I first met, you had just gone on a trip to Bali. Was this part of the inspiration?
Absolutely. So this book is part fiction, part nonfiction. So there are glimpses of my trip within the story. And yeah, the main character was me. And it took you through my journey, although the money retreat is something I created myself. So that's the fiction part. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
until you start holding money retreats in Bali, and then it's not fiction anymore. Please invite me.
absolutely, right? That's one of my steps, right? Is visioning, like what do you want in life? And so I'm visioning these money retreats. So we'll be chatting next year,
Oh,
2026, and see what happens.
oh, oh, I like it. I like it. Okay, I'm already booking guests for the show next fall, so you got to let me know lots in advance. Or I'll be doing interviews from Bali in the middle of the night. Who knows?
Yes, let's go, Fiona. Let's do this.
Talk about being in the energy and frequency of
Mhm.
divine wealth. I love it. Okay, so in this book, your main character's name is Zoe. Is
Correct.
she autobiographical?
To a certain extent, that was me when I got on the plane to fly to Bali, and that is kind of the opening of the story. And she just ends up on a journey. I don't know if I want to tell you about the ending,
It's okay. Please
but the
don't.
the ending is also my journey as well. And the leader of the retreat, her name's Lily. She's my future self.
Oh,
And so yeah, I wrote this on 2 different parallels, which was kind of interesting. And the other 6 characters are sprinkles of myself or even some clients that I've known and, doing research for the book and issues that women have with money. That's sort of how I created the other 6 characters is based on what I have heard in my own practice, what I hear out in, social media, are what each one of those women deal with. So they all have a different story that they bring to
yeah.
the table. Yeah. So different ages, different
Yeah.
stages of life. So,
Okay.
if you felt, oh, I'm young, it's not for me. Well, there's a few young characters in there that you may relate to.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I've got this grin on my face because you and I, Francesca and I have a weekly mastermind call, if you will. We have our Monday morning mindset call, and we've done this for a few years now. And so we usually end up talking about money on these calls because it's a subject that women don't talk about.
Right.
And for me, it's been such a game changer to have someone like you be able to hold a mirror up to me and say, no, 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 you got this wrong. This is what it should look like. And I half expect to open it. I haven't read all of the book yet. I've got it on my reader. I hear there's a physical copy on the way to me.
Yes.
Okay,
Delayed by
amazing.
Canada Post, unfortunately.
I know it didn't move very fast. Oh well. But it is over Francesca's left shoulder. So if you are watching the video, Divine Wealth is the name of the book. And
Also in
of it.
front of me as well.
Oh, lovely. It's gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you.
I half expect to open up a page and it's like, okay, so Fiona comes into the retreat in Bali and she's a hot mess. Or
Maybe book
maybe
two. Maybe book two.
maybe maybe her name is Flora or Felicia. Something thinly veiled, because God knows our conversation has got to make you just ripe with ideas for how this works. But I, this is how we started out this conversation today, was before we press record, was the importance of women having money conversations. Let's talk about that.
Ugh. Money in general is a taboo. We just don't talk about it. And why? Because we hold all these beliefs about money And it's like, well, who taught us those beliefs about money? Why don't we talk about it? Oh, because, you know, you'll seem greedy if you do, or that's just being show off. And so there's all these stories we've created in our mind. And when you actually just step back, you're like, none of those stories are true.
They're
Because
bullshit.
yeah, and money, and this is what, even my own journey. So a lot of this is my own journey as well. Money is a tool. When I heard that phrase, I went, what does that mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I realized, it's just like this highlighter. A highlighter is just a highlighter. Money is just a tool. And it amplifies things just like the highlighter. But money to us has been like, ew, yuck, greedy, gross, bad, horrible. I'm doubt, shame. Oh my God, fearful. That's a story. It's just a tool. And so why do we create so many stories around it? And why can't we talk about it and be supportive of one another? Celebrate each other. That's another one of my conversations in the book. Celebrate the little things. I didn't do that myself. And I always wanted more. I always wanted more. I always wanted more. But I never looked back and said, wow, look at all these great things that I've done or have helped, this particular person or this group. And, and just stopping to take a moment and just saying, yeah, money is a tool to help me with my purpose. And that's another thing I talk about in the book is having a purpose, not a goal, but a purpose.
Ooh, yeah, we don't talk about that enough, do we? Because a woman's purpose is to reproduce and raise babies, isn't it? I mean, can I shit
And
disturb for a
so
sec?
many, and so many other things. Like yeah, there's something we'll talk about a little later on. But
Yeah.
yeah, like what is your purpose? And it's okay. We can do all those things, right? We can have a family and, provide what we want in life. We can have both. But
Mhm.
yet we always say, oh no, I can't do that. I've got this. I can't have that. No, it's this and that.
Mm, mm. I like that. Okay, so you've got 8 characters and you've got 8 steps. Are you happy to share the 8 steps with us, or is that too much of a spoiler?
No, no, because I've been on stages talking about this
Okay.
and doing workshops and so on. So the first one, as I just talked about, money's a tool. It's just understanding what it is for you and creating your purpose around that. And then talking about the stories and the mindset we have around money, the beliefs came from our family, our culture, our media that we've got going on. And what
Mhm.
are those beliefs we have? Like, I don't know about you, Fiona, and maybe
Mhm.
we've talked about this a million times, and I
No
think we're on the
doubt.
same page. You have to
Are
work
we talking
hard
about blowjobs again? Sorry, sorry, go on.
to know about that on your podcast. Like you
No,
got
this, yeah.
hard, right? You work hard and money doesn't grow on trees and you have to sacrifice. No, you don't.
Mhm.
I actually changed my mindset last year so much that I slowed everything right down. I got really clear on what I wanted and I doubled my income in 6 months. I didn't do anything
Else.
extraordinary or work hard. I slowed down. I got clear and magic just happened. People were coming to me and it was a beautiful thing. And I continue to take that into my day. And sometimes I get sidetracked and distracted, but I try to come back to what do I really want to do and what's my purpose in life? And things happen. I mean, David Chilton reached out to me on Instagram and I didn't even know him.
I
And he
love
started
that.
following me and he wants to read my book. I've been visioning this for a long time. And so those are the next two things, the self-image.
Mhm.
So who do I need to be to get what I would want in my life? I'm an author now. I mean, you asked me last year if I could ever say I'm an author, I'd be like, no. I used to tell myself, I don't write. I'm not very good with words. Who's going to listen to me? And yet I've changed my self-image to believe and know that this is my purpose, is to spread the word, write the book, and get the message out there. Huge shifts in who I was last year. And then the vision, right? Like just closing your eyes and just picturing what it is that you truly want, what makes you happy, what lights you up, what gets that fire going inside of you. And are you making decisions in that direction? And a lot of us aren't. right? And there's a big disconnect. And then we're so unhappy and we're so like, oh, it's everyone else's fault. But if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. It's a Bob Proctor
Hmm.
thought, and it's so true. I wanted David Chilton to read my book, and he's got my book now, and he's reading it,
Amazing.
and I'm like, oh my
Amazing.
God, the vision come true, right? And so now it's like I believe in that to be so true and powerful. I have more that's coming up, and so I can't wait to say all those things. And then the other part is now the money, the masculine structure, right? So if we can create and receive and have all these lovely things come to us and manifest what we want, then what do you do with the money? Like, how do you structure the money? What
Hmm.
should it look like? So I've got this mindful money solution that I have in the book. It walks you through how to structure your money so it flows better because money flows where it's wanted. And so if you've got a purpose, it will go to that direction. And then, my wonderful wealth advising financial blueprint, the wealth blueprint. How do you create your financial house? What should you think about? What should you have set up or consider depending on your circumstance? And then the last thing is celebrate. Because I think we don't celebrate enough, right? And
No.
and just even taking a small moment to have a cup of tea by a candle that makes you so happy, or music and dance. And it doesn't have to have money attached to it, right? Like I started doing my nails. I thought it was a selfish thing to get your nails done. Like, I'm like, what story is that?
Yeah, that's
And it
not
makes
yours at all.
Right. And it makes me happy now. Buying myself flowers makes me happy. And when you're happy, you light up, your energy is increased. People are attracted to say, whoa, what does she have?
Oh
I
yeah,
want
yeah,
some of that, right?
yeah, yeah,
And you just
yeah.
become a magnet. And it's just so simple. Yet we just forget to do that and be who we really want to be.
Oh, amazing. You've just given us steps. Please go read the book, Divine Wealth. I will be continuing to take notes in my own copy of this because I'm just as much of a student of Francesca as anybody else, even if I get to have the call live.
Another thing, so it's great story. And what I just wanted to share is like a lot of times you read a finance book, and you're like, yeah, 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 done, right?
Mhm.
I really want the audience and the readers to go through and have an embodiment section.
I love that
And
you put that in
so
there.
each chapter has something for you to do, work on, exercise, reflect, journal on. And so you can read the story and then maybe go back and say, okay, the first chapter is the courage inventory. And it just walks you through some questions to journal on. So it just gets you thinking. And so you've got some prompts and start to integrate them because, we all start January 1st, ready to go with our financial New Year's or your New Year's resolution.
Mhm.
And then most of us don't follow up and we don't continue. And so this idea and the tool is to continue to work and grow and expand because it never ends, right? There's
Mhm.
always going to be something new and exciting around the corner.
And to set yourself up in this is one of the things I think that was one of the best things you've given me is that money and planning your money is an act of self-care. And what a concept. Like there's so much to unpack around that. And so I would love to
Mhm.
talk to the certified financial planner, Francesca, and hear what you've seen in your clientele when you start to teach them about this.
Well, I'm just going to back it up first and say we only spend 14 minutes a week on our money or looking at our money, but yet we spent 15 hours a week worrying about money.
Wow.
We have become a mindless society with our money. How often do you tap, tap, tap? Have you ever opened up any of your credit card bills or any of your statements, looked in your bank account? So many people don't even want to see it, don't even want to look at it, and have their head in the sand. And so I'm really starting to get clients to say, like, let's pull it out. Let's see what's under the hood. You need to know how things are going to work
Yeah.
by looking at it. And it's not something to be afraid of, shameful. Again, those are stories you tell yourself. It's just they're numbers on a piece of paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And just look at it as a number as a piece of paper. And as a scientist, what can you find or what can you look at or what do you want to make a
Mhm.
decision on or change? And it really has to come from you. I can't tell my clients what to do because they're not going to do
Mhm.
it.
Mm-mm.
They have to tell themselves what to do. You have to tell yourself, what can I do to change my current situation?
Mm.
Don't know if I answered your question. I went on a
No,
tangent.
well, it's all good. People listening to the show are so used to my tangent, so it's just fine.
Well, then, like, talking about purpose. So, for
Yeah.
example, our client recently say, well, I really just want to travel with my children. I'm like, amazing.
Perfect. Yeah.
Are we putting in money in that bucket, in that account for travel? And she's like, I have no money at the end of the month. Okay. So what are we doing with our money every month? Well, it goes to this, 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 this. I said, I didn't hear anything about travel in there, but yet you said you want to travel. So we need to make shifts in what we're actually doing to make our money flow to what we really want. So is there something she can change on this end to now then have money to redirect it to her travel budget? Build that up and go on vacation. There's nothing wrong with that, right? And how happy will you be and your family and the memories and the relationships? And maybe you come back to work more excited than ever and more productive and more happier and making money. So I feel like it's all related. We just tend to just say, oh, I heard this the other day, I've got to reduce my expenses. I got to reduce what I'm doing. And I just said to this other client, I said, you actually need to make more money. I don't
Hmm.
think you need to reduce anything. You
Yeah.
just need to find a job that's going to pay you more. And she took that away and she actually reached out to me the other day. She's like, oh my God, I just got a new job and they're paying me
Yes.
get 2 job offers. And I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I took what you said to me. I have to make more money as what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not here to tell you what less to cut out of your budget. I don't like the word budget either.
No.
How can you grow and expand yourself? And she's got this new job and a new role and everything.
I love it. I love it. And this is a really important thing. You and I've talked about this so many times, but like we grew up hearing from men that our financial problems was because we wanted to have the whole latte factor situation, right? We wanted to have a cappuccino every day, and that was the reason why. Or we were too busy buying expensive purses and shoes. A bunch of like sexist bullshit that was in there. And even though we're many decades later, it prevails in terms of how we think about things. So
Absolutely.
what you just said is so powerful. It's not just about your expenses, babe. You need to make more money.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to put this out there. I hear often, oh, there's this pink tax and women make less and da 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 da
Mhm.
da. I don't know the stat, but I've heard that there's more female millionaires in the world now than ever before. So why do we tell ourselves women always get paid less? Whoop, we do? Where? Like, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You just tell yourself that that's the story. I just I want to start having us reframe that because we can make as much money as we want. There's no limit. Kathleen Cameron says so the abundant, there's no limit. But we tell ourselves there's a limit because we're female.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been conditioned to have a limit to have limitations with around this for sure.
To believe that story. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. What do I want to go to next? There's so many things in my head right now. I want to ask you a thousand
I'm
things.
so
Okay.
sorry.
No, it's beautiful because I know this is how conversation unfolds when women are sitting and having a chin wag about something that's really important. All right, so making more money. I want everybody to hear that. I was just talking to my menopause doula students just this morning about how I can teach them not just how to be good menopause coaches, but I also want them to be able to build and sustain a great business with this. It's not just about the textbook knowledge, but it's about first of all, how do they get a return on their investment for the tuition that they paid for the
Sure.
program? But
Yeah.
also, how do they put this out there in their communities in such a way that they now have a thriving business? And what I said to them, Francesca, was when women are well resourced, communities, everybody in the community does better. The elderly,
Mhm.
the children, the education, the healthcare, the nutrition, all things. So, what we need is well-resourced women. Let's go.
Yes, and women who are focused and clear in their message. And when we can be of service to other women and we elevate them, we all elevate, is exactly what you're saying. And that is my mission, is just to elevate women to know that they can be and do have everything that they want.
Mhm.
I told myself for years I couldn't. Like, I'm a wealth advisor, but in my situation, I felt like I couldn't. I was like, what? Now I look at it, I'm like, oh man, who was telling me these stories? I was telling myself these stories. And I
Mhm.
started really unpacking them and getting honest with myself. I started hearing what stories I was sharing and shifting them and saying, yeah, I
Mhm.
can do whatever I want.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
without a negative, because lot of times people or women, they oh, I can't do that, because we're not
yes.
giving ourselves
Yep.
permission to
Yep.
own that, right? That was a big one for me when I got back from Bali. I had so many women say, oh, I couldn't go to Bali. I'm like, why not? Oh, every excuse in the book. Oh, I don't have enough money. I said, well, you can start saving now. There's nothing wrong to say. It's going to take you 5 years to go get to Bali, but you can start, right? Like,
Yes.
wow, yeah, it was a big eye opener for me, and some of the stories I was hearing from other women.
Sure, and I
Mhm.
remember you and I sitting and having a very conversation about this very conversation. But I love what you just said. Holy cow! I mean, this is what happens, you guys. If this is the first time you've heard Francesca on the show, this is actually her third time on the show. Please go back and listen to the last two conversations,
Mhm.
because I'm just as much of a student of hers, even though we're friends. I'm just as much of a student. When she talks, my mouth is open and I'm taking notes. And we have a similar mission. Mine just happens to be within the container of health. Yours happens to be in the container of wealth, but our missions are the same.
Yes, the missions are the same, and we're about the same age,
Mm-hmm.
going through the same challenges as a female in perimenopause, menopause, whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized too, there's a lot of things that started happening with my own body, and it's like, whoa. And so the self-image piece was so pivotal for me, and just seeing like, who am I? And like loving myself, loving money. Like for me to say I love money and money loves me, woo, that was really hard. But I got used to it, like the mantras and the saying. And it's like, what? Money's a tool. And look at all these great things I can do. I can give to charities. I can, get my kids to school. I can actually have a house in Toronto on my own because I value my worth. And that is so important, Fiona.
Oh, yeah.
We as women do not value our worth and others. And I think that's why we have such a great connection, is because we bring each other up.
Mm-hmm.
We're not jealous, we're not
Mm-hmm.
judgy, we support. And those are so important too. There's little pieces in there in my book too about being judge,
Beautiful.
how we judge
Oh,
others.
yeah. Yes.
And I had can't remember who it was when you say, like, excuse me, who my coach was at the time, that said, must have been Danielle Amos. When you see a woman and there's something on her that you're like, ooh, I love those shoes or her hair or her glasses, and you're like, oh, she must have lots of money because I can't have those shoes. And that really just means, no, that is for you. What you draw your attention to is for you. And when I just like, wow. And I now reframe that. When I see a woman and I see something that I love, there's no judgment. Now it's like, ooh, I want that. How can I get that? And I don't care, right? Like it could
Wow.
be these beautiful glasses. I'm like, ooh, I want those glasses.
Yeah.
Does that make
Oh,
sense? Like
oh,
it's
yeah.
purging judgment into that's for me.
I was recently at a party with a young woman wearing a pair of Valentino shoes. Now, she was unaware that they were Valentino shoes, but my eye was like, whoop! Oh my God. And then I had all the thoughts in my head about, and I'm thinking this now. How did she afford those? I know where you buy those. I know what they cost. They can't be comfortable. There she is dancing. What? And I'm realizing from what you just said that all of those, in a way, were judgments. But when I asked her about the shoes, because, I'm that person, she
Great.
said, I had a family member who gifted these to me.
Wow.
Yeah. And I
Right?
said, yeah. And I said to her, well, that family member loves you very much. But again, that was my own assuming that that person that gifted those shoes was wealthy enough to spend $1,000 on a pair of shoes. Right. So
Mm,
I love what you're saying here because it's like pulling back the curtain on those little tiny places where you judge yourself, you judge your own behaviors, you judge the behaviors and habits of others, and that is all abundance blocking, is it not?
absolutely.
Ugh,
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah. It's because it is meant for you, right? If you probably like zeroed in on those Valentino shoes, I wouldn't have had a clue what those were. I'm just using as an example, but it's
Yeah.
like you loved those shoes and
Mhm.
you told a story about it, but in actuality, no, Fiona, that's for you. You can have those shoes. And that might bring a little like, oh, I don't, I'm have to work
Yeah.
hard. But like, you know what, Fiona? Maybe they're waiting for you just around the corner that you're gonna come into, I don't know, some money. Somebody's gonna gift you these Valentino shoes. Who knows, right?
Dude, my plantar fasciitis is screaming just thinking about it. Okay,
Good example.
I will be meditating later on that because I
Amazing.
think what we just discussed is something so incredible. I can feel the power in it is what I want to say about it.
Mm,
Um, because I suspect for myself, again, once again, you're my great teacher. I learn just these little tiny tweaks that actually are huge behind the curtain that make the biggest difference between pinching ourselves off from the natural abundant flow of the universe and not pinching ourselves
right.
up, not being the sphincter on our own success.
Yeah. I mean, even just going back to like beliefs and, Bob Proctor, I started this work, studying Bob Proctor, what you think creates your feelings, creates your actions. And so I really had to step back a lot and say, okay, what am I thinking? Judging myself, judging others, not giving myself permission. I'm not good enough. I have no confidence. I'm not worthy, not lovable. And I was like, woof. And then those create negative feelings inside me, which then my actions are I don't get my nails done. I don't do my hair. I don't do my makeup. Like these are all things that I had to really think about. It's like, no, I am worthy of getting my hair done and my makeup done and buying new clothes and feeling good about myself. It makes me feel good. And then I'm just more not energetic, but more magnetic. And
Mhm.
and that is so important. It is so pivotal into how money comes to you. It goes where it's welcomed, right? And if you're
Yes.
welcoming that idea and the flow, more will
Oh,
come to you.
I love it. I remember about this time last year saying something to you along the lines of, "Oh my gosh, I bought so many new clothes lately because I was on a bit of a health journey, so I'd been losing weight and it just I felt guilt about the fact that I had bought several new things and you're like, "Mm-mm, no way, sister. If that makes you feel better about yourself, then you are going to be attracting all of the things to you that you wish to have. So do not for 1 second."
Right. And you did that to go to a conference, which you hadn't
Yeah.
done in a long time. And you were like,
Yeah.
you weren't even like worried about that.
Yeah.
And you went and like all of the great valuable ideas and people
Mhm.
and tips that you got from that conference was gold, like priceless, right?
Yes.
And so you probably look back now and you're like, Jesus, Fiona, what was I worried about?
I
That was the
know.
best gosh darn thing I ever did for myself. And look where it's taken you. Like
Yeah.
your business has changed.
Yes.
You're being the person we need for this space for us women. Like I love that you're out there and you're talking about it and we need to know. I just heard somebody this morning say, yeah, we don't know enough about menopause. And like, you gotta listen to Fiona's podcast. Like,
Thank
right,
you.
the expert is talking with the experts. And so, we all have things that we need to share with the
Yeah.
world and
Yeah.
be the best that we can be.
And thank you for the reminder on that. And I appreciate that you remember the details of that. And as I was saying to you when we started this conversation, I am in a different place with my business this year because I have women in my life. You for sure are in that group that show me this is how you do it. It's not all this BS that you've heard over your life. This is how you do it. It's all available to you. There are no limitations. You get to decide what you want to do. You set the intention and you go. And all of you are also showing me with your in your own businesses how success looks. And this is everybody from you, the certified financial planner, to friends of all different kinds, of all different businesses, right? And so it's not somebody that's in the same business as me. But what's been powerful, so powerful for me, is that anytime I have a question that is about the cringy things that women don't talk about, whether it's like marketing stuff, or marketing's a softer one because that's allowed for women to talk about marketing, but sales stuff, or what do I do with my money? Where do I put my investments? That kind of thing. Somebody in my friend group has done it already, has set the 3 minute mile. So I know I'm not out there blazing a trail, but when you don't talk about these things, you
Yeah.
feel isolated. You feel, and then all the shame and the guilt and all this other stuff comes up, and then you don't talk about it, and then it gets a hold on you. So I just, it has been such a massive game changer for me in the last few years to have the women in my life who have big, successful businesses and are generously sharing what you
Yeah.
have learned along the way. So thank you for being
Yeah.
part of that group for me. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm so honored and grateful that we met a long time ago on
Yep.
Zoom calls.
Yes.
And just to be able to support each other, and that's the key in what I want to take away with the book too, is just support one another. Why are we bashing each other? We should be supporting and lifting ourselves up with each other in just the little things too, and talking about the self-image and being successful, and that's great, whatever it means for you, right? Because success and wealth is different for everybody. If we're talking about money, the other side I found is that there's a lot of coaches out there that talk about, making all this money and millions and millions and millions. And then I'm like, yeah, but what about what to do with it?
Yes.
Right? It's great to reinvest in yourself or invest in yourself. That's important. But what are you going to do with it once you've got it? And having good structure and keys is so important. So that's the financial wealth practice that I bring to the table. It's like, okay, we've got to, as women, not put our head in the sand when it comes to numbers or money,
Mhm.
not to pass it to our partner to take care of. If you've
Mhm.
got goals and dreams, that's the flow, the feminine part. And then all of a sudden you pass it to your partner, you just kink their money hose because you have no idea what's going on the other end. You give him the money or she or whomever, and then what? That's it. You just kinked your money hose. So if you can start looking at what's going, asking the questions for your partners. I have actually a 10 questions to have money conversations around. You can take that as a download on my website. Just start talking to your partner. Like, what are we doing? Where's our money going? Can you explain this to me? Become knowledgeable.
Mhm.
And yes, you don't need to read all the books. Just be aware and maybe start doing it on your own. Do a little side investment or have your own bank account. It's my new thing for women. Have your own bank account. Provides freedom,
Mhm.
freedom to do what you want. And gosh, I can go on and on and on, but I just really believe it's important for women to start knowing and in introducing themselves to investing, structuring
Mhm.
their money, cash flow, and so on.
Yep. Yeah. It's critical, which is why you've been on the show 3 times, because wealth and health are tied,
Hmm.
and money is feminine, correct?
And masculine. We
Uh,
both.
Okay. Let's put a pin in that because I want to come back to that because I want to ask you a question about something that you said some time ago. Um, You said in the last year you got really quiet and really clear and your income doubled.
Hmm.
So my question to you is, if someone hears this, let's say it's your friend Fiona, and goes, geez, how do you get quiet and clear? That's the hard part of that conversation for me.
So quiet was stop saying yes to everything. Stop saying I should be doing this. That was a lot of what I used to tell myself. Oh, I'm a financial advisor, wealth advisor. I should be doing this. Who says? So I stopped the shoulds.
Yep.
I slowed down, I started analyzing my practice. Like, what am I doing that I don't enjoy? Can I pass that on to someone else? So I started doing that. I hired a part-time person for booking appointments, made a world of a difference. But I had so much attached to that. I was like afraid to let it go. And when I let it go, I was like, oh my goodness, why didn't I do this sooner?
Yeah.
So really just diving deep into tasks and what I don't enjoy. And then getting clear. I had an aha. So I was a divorced woman. And early on in my practice, 20 some odd years ago, I met a divorced woman. And I really wanted her to work with me, but she said no, and she was crying. And I was like, I don't want to deal with a crying woman. Like, I had had this from in my mind for 20 years. Divorce means crying woman. And it hit me one day. I was like, whoa, that was a story I just told myself. When I looked at some of the clients that I have that are divorced women, they've never cried to me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Francesca, you've been holding back on serving this group of women because of some original client 20 years ago. And so I'm like, yeah, nope. I am now here to serve women that want to not be with a partner because of divorce. They're not with a partner because of death, and they're not with a partner because of the decision they've made. And I can connect with them so well because I've been there. I was afraid if I couldn't keep my house, how was I going to pay for things on my own? Like, yes, I'm a wealth advisor, but I still had those fears. And so I think that that just started having women come to me and realizing, yes, you are the person I need to talk to because I feel the same as you did.
Wow. Well, and being the example too, and just saying that was me once too. So let me tell you, what you need to know, I think is incredibly powerful. Um, sort of like me, menopause was textbook until it wasn't. And then
Right?
my experience as a woman in perimenopause, soon to be menopause, um, is so useful in terms of wisdom. So when you got clear, did your relationships change?
In terms of like outside of work,
Yes.
no.
Interesting.
In fact, I feel when I slowed down, I wasn't the frantic person I used to be. I wasn't like in my mind chaotic. I was calmer. I was happier. I was present.
Mm,
Fiona, that's what it was. I stopped the future thinking. I'm like, what do I need to do right now? Where do I need to go right now? Who do I need to call right now? And I just got present to being with my children. I got more present to being with my romantic partner. I got present to be with my friends. And, when you and I get on a call, my brain isn't somewhere else thinking about what I had to do. I'm like, nope, it's about Fiona and I right now.
mhm.
And that has made a world of a difference too.
Mm. So, do you think frantic Francesca could have written this book?
No. Oh, no, that was the problem. I told myself 30 years ago I was going to write a book. It's
Mhm.
30 years ago. And even when I got closer to writing the book, I started on my trip to Bali. I didn't have the story yet. I did have a story, and then it just didn't seem to work. And I did find somebody to help me. And yeah, and it just all came all at the same time, like slowing down, getting focused, getting clear. And it was almost like, you hear people say things get easy
Mhm.
when you become clear. It's
Mhm.
so true. And writing that book just became easier. The downloads I kept getting, the visions I had. Oh, I see it in my mind. Let's write it. And that's just how it all came about. And it took time, but it wasn't hard.
Mhm. I understand
And
that.
we always, I should say, this, I used to think things were hard. Everything is hard. Everything was hard until I got really clear and you get aligned with what your true purpose is, then it's not hard anymore.
Mm, I love that. So, essentially, you're giving us all permission to slow the hell down
Yeah, and
and
it,
get
and
clear.
I had a hard time at the beginning with that, thinking I'm being lazy because I was
Mhm.
so used to go, 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 do, 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 that when I just got, slowing down, like, oh, I should be, no, oh, I should be, no, no, okay. And then I just got to the point where I'm like, this actually feels really good. And I still have days where I sit in my chair in my office and then I'm like, I should really go outside and enjoy the sunshine. And I don't. And then yeah. So I still need to give myself permission every day on something new, something different. But it's all like peeling the layers of the onion, right?
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I'm taking that one to heart, the slow down and get clear. You know how we talk about supporting your body through every phase of life, especially menopause? Well, here's something I've actually been using and I want to share it with you. MitoPure longevity gummies are the first longevity gummies that work at the cellular level, and that matters more than you might think. Here's the thing. As we move through menopause, our cells naturally make less energy. These gummies support that cellular powerhouse with clinically proven urolithin A, targeting a key hallmark of aging, mitochondrial balance. Of course, the mitochondria are those cellular powerhouses. So you can feel strong, clear, and vibrant. These gummies are sugar free, clean label certified, and honestly, it's so much easier than taking another pill. I actually keep mine on my desk, and when that mid afternoon slump hits, I take two. It's become my go to instead of reaching for caffeine or a sugar hit. Longevity doesn't have to feel complicated, it starts with one daily habit. Start 2026 strong with 30% off your first month. Head to timeline.com/lovely30. That's timeline.com/lovely30 because you deserve to feel your best in every decade. Let's pick the pin back up. You've talked about masculine, feminine in money a little bit here. Let's have that conversation, please. What do you mean when you're talking about that?
So feminine is leaning back to receive. So when you receive money, how does that feel in your body? Are you like, "Ugh, oh no, it shouldn't come here. Oh, I don't deserve it." It's changing that frame of mind, the beliefs like, no, I do deserve money. It comes to me, and then I flow it back out and circulate it. And how do I do that? Do I give it away? Am I investing in myself? Am I investing in my financial plan? Like, how am I bringing it in and flowing it back out? And then the masculine side is having the structure. So having a cash flow system, having purpose accounts. So your money goes into those purposes, like travel account, or I call it purpose instead of an emergency account. I have a Christmas account. So what are those different accounts for you? And money automatically flows there. So you've got the structure flow. So when you bring the money in, it goes where it needs to go, and then you can take it out and spend it where it needs to go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So having a masculine container and structure to hold all of that together.
Mhm. This could be kind of a controversial discussion, isn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was. When I first started. But one of the things, I mean, I think you're leading into this podcast that I
Mhm.
was
You
alluding
mentioned
to.
something.
So interesting. It's a podcast I heard about the masculine side of money. And the gist of it, I'm just getting into it again. Money and Masculinity, Scott Galloway and Ed Elson. The gist of the podcast was that women want men who have money and are successful. And they don't look at men who don't have money, but could be amazing people. Women want men to take care of them. They have safety, they provide safety. And yes, we want men to take care of us, but I think we associate that with money too often in our society. And we really should find safety within ourselves. We don't need a partner to make us feel safe. And I'm hoping that the book allows us women to gain our confidence and provide our own sense of security and safety so that we can have a partner. And it doesn't matter if they have a lot of money or not. We can feel safe with them no matter what. And so I think we get confused between safety and masculine money and feminine energy. and there's some distortion in there. And so
Agreed.
I'm hoping to clear that up. It's a big topic, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it is I'm sure a big topic. And as a nervous system expert, let me say a thing or two about that. The biology between the male and the female, the physicality, from an evolutionary point of view, the physicality of the male is where the safety comes from,
Yes.
right? So we are indeed wired to some degree to look for safety,
Yeah,
but we can provide it for ourselves.
absolutely.
Now, if we have a partner that can help us with safety, then wonderful. And especially for in our generation, there's a lot of us that have had some sort of childhood or developmental trauma that we're now unpacking with our therapists. Um, and you know the problem that I see with what you're saying from this podcast is that the bros have associated safety with money. And there is something to be said about that. But in fact, our nervous systems are wired for the physicality and the
Yes.
resources. Yeah, that
Yes, but
comes with that.
I think it also is women. There's so many women that won't want a partner unless they have money because they think that's safety. And I think just in society, we need to
Yeah.
shift that thought. It's like, no, as women, we can make our own money and we can still find safety in a man, but in a different way, in physicality way, like you were talking about. And why do we have to associate a man making a lot of money as being the one for us and providing safety so that because I don't have to then learn about money and then I don't have to manage my money. Oh, I'll just give it to him and he can take care of it.
Oh, yeah. Don't do that, sisters. Please
Right?
don't do
That's what
that.
they're
Yeah.
saying women are doing. And I'm like, no, 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 we
Don't.
can't. Like
Yeah.
a lot of us associate safety and, oh, I'm going to park my money and keep it safe. No, we need to invest our money, not safety, right? And
Yeah.
there's a character in the book,
Hmm.
Barb, who was that,
Yeah.
right? She
Okay.
found safety in putting her money in a savings account. No, 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 no. We need to really start becoming aware of what to do with our money, to be our own stewards of our money and not find that safety in money in a man. Mm-mm.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
was trying to get at.
Yeah. There is some controversy there for sure. Well, again, do you think this is still a problem? Do you think this still prevails where women, young women, I think about what I wanted in a man when I was a young woman. I never really considered the money bit, but maybe because I assumed as a young, naive human being that anybody I met would also be upper middle class like I was raised. Like I never thought that I would fall in love with somebody that wasn't that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I got out in the dating world and realized that there were people from all socioeconomic backgrounds that were available to me. And so, but I guess I don't know. I don't have a daughter that's, talking to me about what she's looking for in a man, but do you think this is actually part of the discussion with young
Yeah.
females?
Well,
Really?
I also say, okay, having money is an amplifier of who you are. So if I want $1 million, I want to be able to give it to other people that need it or support in some way. That's me. I want to help people. And so I question though, are there a segment of society or women that say, "Ooh, I want that money for what? Status? Ooh, I want that money to have fancy cars. Ooh, I want that money so I don't have to work." And I'm going to lose my computer. I forgot to plug it in. Yeah, so I just question what is it that they want the money for, right?
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
what I was trying to get at, just
I
to
want to
ask.
say I want to say a quick thing and then we can wrap our
Yeah,
conversation
I'm going to
here.
lose my power.
Okay, so young women, when they're thinking about who they want to date, they're actually putting wealth above other things.
Absolutely. And this is what they were saying on the podcast. And so I just want to, sort of say to the segment of women who want man with money, it's like, what is that money going to do for you? Like, is that to then drive around your fancy sports cars?
Mhm.
Is that so you don't have to work? Is that so you can give it away? And that's, a big part of who you are. I think it's important to ask, why do you feel a man with money is who you need and want? Because we can earn our own income.
Mhm.
And, for maybe another day, they were talking about, well, women that make money put men down who don't have money. And it's like, wow. Wow, there's a whole nother conversation too,
Yes, there
right?
is. Okay, well, this is what I think about when you talk about this wanting a man with money, and then you get the things with that, and that feels safe and all of that. So the Buddhists talk about something called the hungry ghost. Are you familiar with this phenomenon?
No, tell me more.
Okay, well, I'm probably going to botch this, but my understanding of this is that money is a bit like that if you don't have a balanced way of thinking about it, that it's always hungry, it always needs more, it always needs to be fed, it always needs to be nurtured, it never leaves you alone. It's the hungry ghost. And you're chasing something that really you have no power over, but it has complete power over you.
Absolutely, right?
Mm,
And are you going to be happy,
mhm.
right? Everybody thinks more money makes you happy.
Yep.
There's a lot of millionaires that are not happy
Yeah.
because they don't know what their purpose in his life, the
No.
purposes of life, or they don't have the, self-confidence, the self-worth.
Mhm.
They haven't shifted their mindset. They think they just need money to be attracted to people. Well, no, you don't need money. You just need to feel like you have money to be attracted to people. Like, so
Wow.
yeah, there's a whole,
Wow. I love that. And the way you described the receiving of money, by the way, makes me think of the Empress card in the tarot deck, right? Just
yes, you
that.
sent it to me and I always
Yeah.
have that
Do
visual.
you? Yeah.
I do.
It's you just that she is so relaxed. She's leaning back on it looks like she's on a hay bale or something terribly uncomfortable, but again, it's fine. But that card has abundance written all over it because of the pomegranates in there and the wheat sheaves and all of this sort of. So when it comes to talking about money and the feminine with money, I always think of the Empress card for
Me
sure.
too. Me
Yeah,
too. We
it's a
shared
good
that.
one.
You shared that with me and I still remember like days when I'm like stressed out. I just go, hey, just lean back,
Yeah.
take a deep breath,
Relax. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, go back to center,
Yeah.
ground yourself. What do you need in this moment? Where are
For
you
those,
going? What's your
yep.
purpose? Yeah.
Get clear and quiet. I love it. And for those of you that don't know, just go look up the Empress card from the Rider Waite Tarot deck on Google and on the internet, and you'll be able to see what it looks like. But she is all receiving and no doing.
And that's the queen. So you call it the empress. I call it the queen in my book. So there is a bit about how to find your queen energy.
Oh, I love it.
And yeah, I wrote this one piece, which I'm going to share. It's in the book. I matter. I am wealthy. I am divine. I am queen.
So good. So good. Oh my God, please go read this book. And in fact, gift this book to your neighbor, to your sister, to your bestie. Just, we need more well resourced women on this planet to take care of the stuff that the boys have had access to and haven't taken care of, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I love my dude. This is not an anti man thing.
Absolutely. No, we love our men. It's just we see them differently, right? And
Yeah,
and we can do and have what we want, and they can do have what they want, and we can
yeah.
come together and support each other.
Absolutely. And if my dude was in this conversation, he'd say, "Oh no, we've screwed it all up. Please take over. Please take over. Somebody needs to come in and mother us."
Oh yeah, but you're doing it. You're doing it. You're
Yeah.
doing it. You're doing it, and you just keep moving forward and keep focusing on what you do best, Fiona, because we need you in this world. All women need you in this
Thank you.
world.
Thank you. Divine Wealth is the book by Francesca Rea. She is another Canadian boss babe that's rocking the world. But this book is available on Amazon and
Amazon
yeah.
and Kindle, soon to be audiobook. And
Are you doing
yeah,
your own vocals on that?
I am.
Oh, we got to talk about that. That'll be Monday morning's conversation.
Yeah. FrancescaRea.com. If you're not sure where to find it, you can get the link there. Some resources on my website, events coming, and so much more in the new year. I'm looking forward to it.
I love it. Thank you for writing this book. This book was so, so, so needed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too, sister. You've brought so much to my world. You've enriched my life so much. I'm so grateful for you. And now I get to share you with my listeners, which makes me so happy. Okay, let me ask the final question, which I've already asked you twice, but I'm going to ask you again. And you're like, good, because I don't remember it.
Absolutely.
Okay, it goes like this. Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Say more.
I just said that this week. You know, the stress, the oh my gosh, the fear, it just doesn't matter. Like, listen to your heart, go with what your soul and your mind is telling you, and just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Nothing else matters.
I love it. Permission granted.
Love it.
Thank you, Francesca, for coming on the show.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
The information and other content provided in this show, or in any linked materials, is not intended and should not be construed as medical advice, nor is the information a substitute for professional medical expertise or treatment. We are doctors, but we aren't your doctor. Seek your doctor's opinion. If you or any other person has a medical concern, you should consult with your healthcare provider or seek other professional medical treatment. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something that you have heard in this podcast or in any linked materials. If you think you may have a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The opinions and views expressed on this page and in this show have no relation to those of any academic, hospital, health practice, or other institution. Thank you.